Gerald and Charlene Gallego were a notorious couple in the late 1970s, known for a series of heinous crimes across Northern California. Between 1978 and 1979, they abducted, tortured, and murdered at least 10 young women. The Gallegos lured victims with false promises before committing unimaginable acts of violence. Captured in 1980, they faced multiple charges. Gerald was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms, while Charlene received a lighter sentence, sparking debates about justice. Their story is a chilling reminder of how monsters can hide behind a facade of normalcy. They moved through life like shadows, leaving a trail of devastation. Their victims, mostly young women, were subjected to unimaginable horrors. The Gallegos' ability to deceive and manipulate was both their weapon and their shield. Gerald, the mastermind, exerted a terrifying control over Charlene. Together, they formed a deadly duo, each feeding off the other's depravity. This isn't just a recounting of crimes, but a somber reflection on the depths of human evil and the enduring impact of their deeds. Gerald Armand Gallego was born on July 17, 1946, in Sacramento, California. His childhood was marked by instability and neglect. His father, who was executed for murder, cast a long shadow over his life. Gerald grew up with a deep-seated anger and a desire for control. He had multiple run-ins with the law even before meeting Charlene. Charlene Adele Williams, on the other hand, had a more conventional upbringing. Born on October 10, 1956, in Stockton, California, she was the daughter of a wealthy and respected family. Charlene was intelligent and musically talented, with a seemingly bright future ahead of her. However, her life took a dark turn when she met Gerald in 1977. Despite their different backgrounds, Gerald and Charlene shared a common darkness. Their relationship was intense and volatile, fueled by a twisted sexual dynamic. Together, they embarked on a spree of abduction and murder that would leave a lasting scar on the communities they terrorized. Their first known crime together occurred on September 11, 1978. Gerald and Charlene abducted 2 young girls, Rhonda Scheffler and Kippy Vaught, from a shopping mall in Sacramento. The girls were lured into the couple's van with the promise of a ride. Once inside, they were overpowered and taken to a remote location. Gerald's method was brutal and efficient. Charlene, though seemingly reluctant at first, played her part by aiding in the abduction. The girls were subjected to horrific sexual assaults before being murdered in cold blood. Their bodies were then discarded like trash, a grim testament to the couple's callousness. The disappearance of Rhonda and Kippy sent shockwaves through the local community. Families were left in anguish, searching for answers that wouldn't come for months. The police were baffled, with little evidence to go on. This initial act of violence set the tone for the crimes that followed. The Gallegos were masters of deception. Their methods for luring and kidnapping victims were both cunning and chilling. Charlene would typically approach the victims, using her disarming charm to gain their trust. She would offer them a ride or promise of a job, leading them into the couple's deadly trap. Gerald, lurking in the background, was the enforcer. Once the victims were inside the vehicle, he would strike with brutal efficiency. The element of surprise was their greatest weapon. The victims, caught off guard, had little chance to resist. Bound and gagged, they were at the mercy of their captors. Charlene, with her approachable demeanor, would engage the victims in conversation, making them feel safe. This method proved devastatingly effective, allowing the couple to abduct multiple victims without arousing suspicion. Their ability to blend in and appear normal was a key factor in their success. Section 5. The Reign of Terror. The period between 1978 and 1979 was marked by a reign of terror as the Gallegos continued their spree of abduction and murder. Each crime was a chilling echo of the last, yet more brutal and calculated. They targeted young women, often teenagers, exploiting their innocence and trust. The couple's ability to remain undetected for so long was a testament to their cunning and ruthlessness. Their victims included those like Brenda Judd and Sandra Colley, abducted from a fairground in Nevada, and Virginia Mokel, taken from a bar in Sacramento. Each abduction followed a similar pattern: lured, overpowered, assaulted, and finally murdered. The bodies were often disposed of in remote locations, making it difficult for authorities to find them. Gerald's sadistic tendencies grew with each crime. Charlene's role evolved from a passive accomplice to a willing partner in crime. The fear and panic in the communities they targeted were palpable. Section 6. The capture and arrest. The Gallegos' reign of terror finally came to an end on November 17, 1980. Their capture was as dramatic as their crimes. It was a routine traffic stop in Omaha, Nebraska that led to their downfall. The officer, unaware of who he had pulled over, quickly realized something was amiss. Upon searching the vehicle, the officer found incriminating evidence linking the couple to the recent murders. This discovery set off a chain of events leading to their arrest. The couple was taken into custody, and the full extent of their crimes began to unravel. Charlene's cooperation with authorities was a turning point in the investigation. Faced with the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence, she chose to testify against Gerald. The arrest of the Gallegos marked the end of a dark chapter in true crime history. Section 7. The trials and sentences. The trials of Gerald and Charlene Gallego were closely followed by the public and media. Gerald faced charges in multiple jurisdictions, including California and Nevada. His trial was a spectacle, with gruesome details of the crimes laid bare for all to see. The prosecution painted a picture of a ruthless predator, driven by a need for control and dominance. Witnesses, including Charlene, testified to his brutality and manipulation. The jury found him guilty on multiple counts of murder, kidnapping, and sexual assault. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms, without the possibility of parole. Charlene's decision to cooperate with authorities earned her a lighter sentence. She was charged with second-degree murder and received a 16-year prison sentence. The trials were a grim reminder of the depths of human depravity. They also highlighted the complexities of justice in cases involving multiple perpetrators. Section 8. Public reaction and media frenzy. The public reaction to the Gallegos' crimes and subsequent trials was one of shock and outrage. The media coverage was intense, with every detail of their heinous acts splashed across headlines. The couple's story became a macabre fascination, with people eager to understand what drove them to such depths of depravity. True crime enthusiasts dissected every aspect of the case, from their backgrounds to their methods. The media frenzy had both positive and negative effects. On one hand, it kept the public informed and put pressure on the authorities to pursue justice. On the other hand, it often sensationalized the crimes, sometimes at the expense of the victim's dignity. The case left an indelible mark on the public consciousness, a haunting reminder of the evil that can lurk behind a seemingly normal facade. Section 9. Impact on the legal system. The Gallegos case had a significant impact on the legal system, prompting changes in how serial crimes are investigated and prosecuted. The multi-jurisdictional nature of their crimes highlighted the need for better coordination between law enforcement agencies. The case spurred the development of centralized databases and improved communication channels, making it easier to track and apprehend serial offenders. The handling of Charlene's plea deal also led to discussions about the role of accomplices in serious crimes. Her lighter sentence, in exchange for her testimony, was seen by some as a necessary evil to secure a conviction against Gerald. However, it also raised questions about the fairness of such deals and the message they send to potential criminals. The debate continues to influence how plea bargains are negotiated in cases involving multiple perpetrators. The legacy of the Gallegos crimes extends beyond the courtroom. Section 10. Reflection and conclusion. Reflecting on the nightmare of Gerald and Charlene Gallego, one is struck by the sheer brutality and senselessness of their crimes. Their story is a dark testament to the depths of human depravity and the enduring impact of evil. The lives they destroyed and the pain they caused cannot be undone, but their capture and conviction brought a measure of justice and closure. The Gallegos' crimes serve as a grim reminder of the importance of vigilance and community awareness. They exploited the trust and kindness of their victims, turning these virtues into vulnerabilities. In the end, the story of Gerald and Charlene Gallego is not just about the crimes they committed, but about the resilience of the human spirit. The victims and their families, despite their suffering, have shown incredible strength and courage. The lessons learned from their tragic fate continue to shape our understanding of crime and justice, ensuring that their story is never forgotten.